So this is June 2013 and it's a non-calculator paper, and what I'm going to do is go through this step by step so that you can see how we answer these questions. So this is question 1. This shape is made from 5 cubes, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 behind it is 5. Okay, and what they want us to do is draw what the shape looks like from various angles. Okay, so it's nice and simple. So from A we can see that we would see just these 3 faces. Okay, now they don't say exactly where they want this drawn from or where they want it. They just say that they want it drawn somewhere. So they just want to see each square here represents each square here. Okay, so what I would see is something like this. Okay, so I'm just trying to draw it in for you. Okay, now if you want to, you could put in each square so that the examiners can see. Okay, and that's good enough. So you would see these 2 squares here, which would be these 2 squares here, and you would see these 3 down. So you would see these 3 down. That's it. Now from B we can see, you would see these 3 down and 1 across. So I would see 3 squares down and I would see 2 across on the bottom. I would see this 1 square here. I would see this 1 square here. These 3 here and here. And then if I just draw these in, the examiner can see what I'm doing. Now from the top I would only see these 2 squares and this one. So if I just scroll it a little bit more, so I would see this bottom square. Okay, I'm just sort of drawing it in fairly quickly, just so that you can see that it is that simple. Okay, so looking down here, you can see I would see 1 square here to the right and then 2 on the bottom. So I would see 2 on the bottom. Okay, they're quite happy with this. You could have drawn it down here, they're fine. They just want to know, what would you see? Okay, so I'll stop that. So that's question 1. So now I'll go on to question 2. Okay, so question 2, work out an approximate value of 41 times 198 divided by 17. Okay, so it says, this is the clue here, the approximate value. So they only want to know roughly what is the value. So we just round these numbers, and examiners are quite happy with this. So 41 I would round to 40 multiplied by 198, so that I would round to 200 and 77 I would round to 80. So this is now very doable. Now 40 and 80, because we're multiplying here, we can cancel. So I could go 40 times 200 and then divide by 80, but I'm making things quite difficult for myself. So I can lose a 0 here and a 0 here. I know 4 goes into 4 once, and 4 goes into 8 twice, and I can see that 2 goes into 200 100 times. Okay, so I'm left with 1 times 100, which is 100 over 1. Okay, examiners still want to see this because remember it's 2 worth 2 marks. So this will give me 100. So my answer would be 100. Okay. Examiners want to see how you get there. The devil's in the detail. Okay. So we go on to question 3. So here we've got a load of stuff here with n's in it. And bear in mind this is a non-calculator paper. So it says, which of the following expressions, remember these are expressions, not equations, will give the median value when n equals 10. So remember n can equal any number, so n is 10. So what I've got to do is now change these to real numbers. So 1 over n would be 1/10. Now n minus 1, so this would be 10 minus 1. So if I just put it here, 10 minus 1, this would be n plus 1, so this would be 10 plus 1. This would be n squared, so this would be 10 squared, and this would be the root of 10. Okay, so now we've changed it. Now remember, we're looking for the median, and you should know that the median is the middle number. So we have 5 numbers here, so we're going to be looking for the middle number when they're in order. So we need to just find out what all these numbers are. So this is 1/10, 10 minus 1 is 9, 10 plus 1 is 11, 10 squared is 100. Okay, and I'll just put a comma between these to show that they're all different numbers. And the root of 10, now the root of 10, we're looking for what number multiplied by itself will give you 10. Now I know 3 3s are 9 and 4 4s are 16, so this will be 3 point something. Okay, so I would just say, okay, approximately say 3.1. They're not going to hold you to this, but we know it's roughly 3 point something. So now I have to put these in order. Now I know 1/10 is my lowest number. I know 100 is my highest number. Now I know that 3 point something is going to go there. Then I'm going to have 9, and then I'm going to have 11. So I've put these numbers all in order now, and I can see that physically my middle number is 9. Okay, so I would write 9, or and I will go back to the question and say that n minus 1, okay, because that also is 9. So I will give them both just to make sure that they can see that I understand that n minus 1 is 9. Okay, so this is what I will call a belt and braces way of answering the question. Okay, and it's worth 3 marks, so it's worth taking the time to do this. Okay, so that was question number 3. So I'll now go on to question 4. Okay, so question 4. So P is an even number, Q is an odd number. So we have ticked the correct box for each part. So is PQ an odd number, an even number, or could it be either? Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take randomly an even number. So let's say this is 4. And Q is an odd number. So randomly I'll choose 5. Now PQ. So this is P multiplied by Q. Okay. So that will be 4 times 5. Now 4 times 5 is 20, and I know that's an even number. Now I just happen to know that if you multiply any number with an even number, you will always get an even number. Okay, but if you don't know that, take random numbers and check it out. So let's say this is 6. This is an even number, and I multiply it by 3, which is an odd number. Now 6 times 3, 18, even. So if you don't know, you can just take random numbers and check it out and see what happens. Okay, so we've answered the first part of the question. Now we know that P is even, and we know Q is odd. Okay, now here we have 3 multiplied by P plus Q, so this would be an even plus an odd. Now an even number plus an odd number will give me an odd number. Okay, 2 plus 3 will give me 5, 4 plus 3 will give me 7, 7 plus 6 will give me 13. You'll notice that they're all coming up odd. Now if I multiply an odd number, 3, by an odd number, I will always get an odd number. Okay, 3 times 5, 15, odd. 5 times 7, 35, odd. Okay, so in this situation, an odd number multiplied by an odd number will always give you an odd number. Okay, in these circumstances. Okay, there is one exception, which is where we have 1, for example. But even with 1, if we said 6 plus 1, that would still produce an odd number. Okay, but if I multiply 3 multiplied by 1, I would get an odd number. If I had 3 multiplied by 2, I would get an even number. Okay, but under these circumstances, we would get an odd number. Okay, so P, which is even, divided by Q, which is odd, will produce an integer. not an integer, or could it be even? So an integer is a whole number. So this will either produce a whole number or not a whole number, or could it be either? Okay. Now, if we have an even number, say like 6, okay, and we divide this by an odd number, let's say 3, now 6 divided by 3 gives us 2. Okay. Now that's produced an integer. But will it work all the time? So if we had 8 divided by 5, I know that that won't give me a whole number, okay? It'll give me 1.6 or something along those lines. Okay, so it won't always give me a whole number. So it could be either. Okay, so if you're not sure, then play around with numbers until you are sure. Okay, so I'll stop the recording there and I'll go on to question 5.